Yeah. Hey. Well, yeah. Goonies never say die. You know what time it is. We got horror suspense. Listen, Kevin Trav digging in the bin. Dirty Dancing in Encino Man. You never know what you'll find in Uncle Doug's bin. What's in the bin? Yeah, Uncle Doug's bin. He's got all these flicks from way back when. Marty McFly in the DeLorean. Gotta love the cage and whatever he's in. Face off Snake Guys, you know it's a win. What's in the bin? Yeah, Uncle Doug's bin. What's in the bin? Yeah, Uncle Doug's bin. What's in the bin? Yeah, Uncle Doug's bin. What's in the bin? Yeah, let's begin.
Welcome to Uncle Doug's DVD Bin, the podcast where we take your favorite movies, give you some facts, tell you the plot, and there might even be a few jokes along the way. I'm your host, Travis.
And I'm your host, Kevin.
Kevin, coming in with them sultry tones for the season closer. My gosh.
Yeah, I've been smoking cigarettes all day just to get my voice, hanging out with Uncle Doug, smoking menthols of all things to get my voice, nice and low for this season finale. We call it a season finale? Is that what we're calling it? Season finale?
I think so. We've been calling them seasons. I think it's only right to call it a season finale.
That sounds so exciting, though. It sounds like we're big time.
I know. And if only we were. And one day, maybe.
Maybe one day people will be so excited to hear that we've got a new season coming out, they'll actually listen. Wouldn't that be wild?
I mean, we have been kicking around the titles for next season, our wish list for the bin draws, and I'm pretty stoked to see what comes out of there. So a new season is always exciting for me, Kev. Who cares what other people think?
That is true. It is a great excuse to watch a movie and hang out with my bud Trav. And man, listen, those are two of my favorite things to do, man.
Right, yeah, same here. What are three other favorite things of yours?
Oh man, I really I like a hearty meal. Obviously, I mean you can look at me and tell that. I like a good beard oil. When I finally, you know what, man? You get the right beard oil for the right beard. Oh man, that's like heaven on earth. And also, just beard. Maybe I should just say beard maintenance, because that like ASMR thing that people do now. I love this sound. Yeah, the ASMRs. It comes with a delicious candy treat. But I love the sound of like clippers just working against the side of my face and my beard. I love that. All right, and then finally, I love the sound of someone singing at a distance, and I don't know who it is.
That one's specific.
Yeah. Well, I live in the sort of a rural area, and sometimes my neighbor lives a few houses over. I'll just hear them out in their yard just singing songs, and it just sounds so merry. And now hold on. If I was out in the woods in the middle of the night and I heard mysterious singing, that'd be a different thing. But like in this specific scenario, really like it a lot. Travis, what about you?
I was going to ask. Well, I was wondering, do you live like downwind of a cult or something? Like what? I mean, they are. I don't hear distant singing where I'm at. Well, actually, I kind of do. I live like 200 yards away from a Christian camp, and every summer I hear the haunting wind gale. It blows the children's voices over the hillside. It's terrifying.
Weird thing is that camp's been closed since 1986. That's the weird part of it. Yeah, buddy.
And I went there in 1997 and didn't even know that.
Yeah, well, that explains an awful lot about you there, my man. Now look, we don't have time for you to tell me three things you like, but at least tell me one.
I like doing stand-up. That's a thing I enjoy doing, and I love doing it in places where it's not normally done, like maybe in the back room of a general store 3 hours from my home, where a lot of other people are playing guitar music and doing odes to Willie Nelson, and then I go up there and bring in a whole different vibe.
Okay, well now, you know how you said the thing about me singing sounded really specific? The thing you just said actually sounds more specific.
Yeah, it was a good time, but I've never been a part of a variety show in my life because I don't have much variety about myself. So it was interesting to be a part of. There was a roller skater that did tricks. There were people that did poetry. There were people that were playing like acoustic music. And then there was me and our mutual pal and fellow comedian Catherine Rogue out there doing comedy, and it just didn't feel like it all fit together. But I gotta say, the crowd was into anything you gave them.
Well, let me ask you this. When you saw that other people were like singing songs, playing guitar, reading their poetry, roller skating, did you at any moment go like, I'm going to change what I'm doing? Like, I'm not going to do stand-up. I'm going to do something else.
Oh, no, but I did change what my stand-up was going to be. I changed a few of my topics to be like, maybe we don't bring that out tonight. That seems to be, based on some of the poetry I've heard, kind of a sensitive thing. Let's do something else. But no, I never thought to go up there and, like, juggle.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, it would have been a good time to learn a new skill, you know? Learn what you're really capable of. I mean, yeah, you know you can do stand-up, Trav, and you're pretty good at it, buddy. But, like...
I don't know about that.
Did you know... You could do a handstand? Do you know if you can do a handstand?
I think it would have been funny if I had gone up there for 15 minutes after being billed as a comedian, never once touched a microphone, and just repeatedly tried to do a handstand until my time was up, and never getting it.
That's the best concept piece I've never seen. I really like it. I really like all the ambiance of it, too.
My shirt just keeps coming up and exposing my belly, and I just keep pulling it down really hard. I'm very uncomfortable with the whole thing. I drink water a lot. People are like, is he okay?
You know, I see you like, you'll take a break, you'll drink a little water, and you'll take like some deep breaths to kind of like hype yourself up, you know? And then you go for it again, and you just do like a half somersault and fall over. Like, this is so good, Trav.
The crowd's like, oh, but they still clap to support me. They're like, yeah, he's doing his best. Can't wait for the next person to come up. When's his 15 minutes over? This is horrifying.
Oh, man. Hey, you know what? Speaking of doing half somersaults and falling over, man, while you were away from improv rehearsal, Travis, I had what I would call a meltdown. You know, you and I do the improvs together, as we've talked about numerous times on this podcast. And so we had a rehearsal going, all right? And I was supposed to lead this rehearsal. And Travis, you know I get nervous before I lead a rehearsal, right? I want it to be meaningful and productive for everybody, you know?
You've literally never appeared nervous to me, but okay.
Okay, well, I feel it down in my tum-tum, okay? That's why I have nothing but dry saltine crackers and ginger ale before I come to rehearsal, all right? And they're just littered about my car. Okay, so I come in, and I've forgotten something in my car, right? So I go back out, and I come back in, and our cohorts, Travis, our friends, in quotes, I'm friends in quotes right now, they had switched my chair with a broken chair, Travis.
Oh, what a good gag. The old chair gag.
The old
Comedians
chair gag.
playing jokes.
That's right. It should have been expected, but they tricked me. No one said anything. No one was concerned about my well-being. They let me sit in this broken chair, Travis, and it collapsed underneath me. With my, as I mentioned, I like a hearty meal. All right, this chair was not up to the job.
I blame the chair. It sounds like the chair's fault.
Well, I mean, I blame the people that switched the chair. And you know what? It was meant to be a harmless joke. But, Travis, I didn't... this is embarrassing to say. I didn't take it as a harmless joke. I didn't laugh it off the way I laugh off most things. In fact, I got what would be referred to as angry. I was very upset, embarrassed in my feelings. And you know what I did, Travis?
What'd you do?
I got my improv stuff, and I got in my car, and I went home. and I pulled into my driveway, and I sat there for a while, and I said, I just can't go back in and tell my wife I just left improv rehearsal after 15 minutes because a chair broke. I couldn't do that. I just didn't have it in me. So you know what I did? I went and visited Uncle Doug.
Oh, good.
Yes. And let me tell you, Uncle Doug, you know, he comes across as this gruff, you know, very stoic individual, right?
Sure.
But I'm going to tell you this. I told Uncle Doug exactly what happened. I walked up on his porch. You know, he was sitting out there like he does. And I told him what happened and why I was upset. And he went in the house, and he came back out with a shotgun. He was like, let's get him. And I was like, Uncle Doug, settle down. I know. He was, my man is ride or die. Like, he was ready to kill. and I was like, Uncle Doug, I'm upset, but I'm not murder upset, okay? I'm not there yet. And you know what he did? He went in the house and he got me a chair to sit down, but he checked this chair. He checked the seat of it, the back of it, to make sure that it was secure. He sat in it himself, just as if to say, you know, hey, Kevin, my dear nephew, this is safe. You can sit down. And I sat down, and it was safe. And immediately, I felt just this gratitude wash over me for Uncle Doug and and this podcast that is brought us all together to be the little trio that we really are, you know?
Yeah, man. I'm glad he did that. You know, give you some support. Unlike that chair at rehearsal. Good for Uncle Doug and for you. So I'm glad that you're able to make it through that. So
you're making,
it was an ordeal.
You're making jokes there, Trav. You're making jokes. If you had been there, okay, if you'd been there,
jokes.
Would you have let me sit in the chair?
100%. I would have been. It would have been my idea at that point. It would have defaulted to me. I'd have been like, we should switch this out so he falls. But you did text me about it, and I definitely made jokes the whole time. I didn't even know you were serious for like 3 days.
I didn't know I was serious for 3 days either, but it kept festering. And you know what? It's just like, hey, thank God Uncle Doug was there for me when no one else was. You know, he gave me a leg to stand on. You know what else is giving me a leg to stand on is the film True Lies, my friend. All right, now this bad boy. All right, it was released July 15th of 1994, directed by, this guy needs no introduction, but I'm going to say his name is like in lieu of an introduction. James Cameron. All right. Big time.
Which you spelled with a K for some reason here. I don't understand that one, but
just to punch it up a little bit.
Punch it up.
Yeah. Okay. His name is Cameron with a K. That sounds exciting. You go, it's Cameron with a C.
Does. Sounds incorrect, but exciting. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, oh come on, man. You think a Cameron with a C could direct Avatar? Get out of here, bud. All right. Writers. James Cameron spelled with a C because
you
Cameron
changed
with
it
a
on
C.
that one.
Yeah, he's definitely a writer, but he's no director. I'll tell you that. Claude Zidi. All right, Simon McCall and starring. All right, here we go. You better get ready. You better buckle.
I'm ready.
Your little panties up.
Wow. Okay, they're buckled. Let me get. Hold on. I'm gonna move it to the third clasp on my panty buckle. All right. Now they're tight.
All right. And of course, the cast of this one starring Arnold Schwarzenegger, Jamie Lee Curtis, Tom Arnold, Bill Paxton, and inexplicably, I left off Tia Carrere here. I don't know why I did, but she is also in this movie.
Right. And Bill Paxton, like, for some reason, when you think back, we'll get to it, but it's like, not sure his whole story needed to be in here, but I'm glad it was because it was fun.
It was. I think it only exists. I think the whole like affair almost happening subplot is just so Bill Paxton could be in this movie. In my opinion, I can't think of no other reason that it heightens the film other than it brings in the Pax Man. You know what I mean?
I do exactly know what you mean.
Well, Travis, how about you go out there and you figure out the 6 degrees of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, where you connect the last movie we watched to the current movie via actor. What have you done this time, my man?
Yeah, so you remember that movie we watched last time, Kev? What was it? Seventh Samurai, but in the West?
Yeah,
what was it called?
Magnificent Seven. Yeah, Magnificent
Seven.
The
Magnificent Seven. I was here for it. All right, it was a quiz for you. Good job. Yul Brynner was in that. You remember that, Vladimir Putin. And he was in a movie I've never heard of, but I want to watch, called The Magic Christian, which sounds like it's only ever been played on youth pastor field trips. But The Magic Christian, Yul Brynner was in that with the one John Cleese, one of my personal comedic idols, who was also in A Fish Called Wanda, a movie that he wrote. And, of course, Jamie Lee Curtis was in that. So there we go. We have connected Jamie Lee Curtis to Yul Brynner through the lovely and very funny John Cleese.
You did it. You know what, Travis, I got to give it to you. That's respectable this time.
Thank you.
In the past, you've come in and just been like Brian Dennehy. And I'm like, you can't just, like, that's not respectable. You need to make it look more difficult. At least you got 3 here. Now, that's respectable. I even appreciated it. All right, my friend?
Good, man. I'm glad. If I do find that Brian Dennehy is the connective tissue, it's always going to be Brian Dennehy. He's the glue. He's the Uncle Doug glue.
Why do you have your eyes closed again thinking about John Wayne Gacy? That's the real question I have.
How did you know that I was thinking about him even with my eyes closed?
Whenever you think about John Wayne Gacy, your forehead crinkles ever so. It's just it's one of your little quirks.
It's one of my things. Man. We've been spending a lot of time together.
Well, you spend enough time in Uncle Doug's shed with someone, you really get to know him. So
ain't that the truth?
You go out there and you find us some amazing internet, usually Letterboxd, sometimes some other places, but Letterboxd reviews out there with the common person, the viewer that watches the movie and says, I have something important to say to the world about this film. Now, have you done that this time, Travis?
Of course I have. What do you think? I just don't do anything for this show? Of course I did that.
I'm trying to lead in, man. I mean, you could be like, of course I did. What? And, it'd be more exciting that way. But if it's just like,
oh, okay, yeah.
So
of course I did.
Okay, well, you can't just do it now. Like, you can't retcon it.
Of course I did.
What? Oh, my God.
All right. We got people who love it. All right. Now, there's a lot of 5 stars all over Letterboxd, but everyone was just like, yeah. Like not a lot of substance, but this guy, I thought this was interesting. 4.5 stars from Lolum 393. Just a couple weeks ago, July 2023, he says 4.5 stars, simply Bin Laden. That's all he says. What do you think about that?
Is it a misspelling? Maybe he meant been late. I've been late.
I've been late. No. It's Bin Laden.
Was Bin Laden in the movie? Like, I don't get. And is he giving Bin Laden 4.5 stars? If so, I mean, I think the NSA maybe wants to see this guy.
That's what I was curious about. But as far as an entertaining review goes, when you scroll through a ton of them and you get to that one catches your eye, and you know what? It ended up in our show.
I don't know. I don't know where to go with it, to be honest with you, and I'm a little uncomfortable. I'm actually starting to sweat a little bit.
Then we got people who are meh on it. We got a 3 stars from a one Tomas, and this literally a week ago as of this recording. 3 stars. This is my Oppenheimer. We got a lot of people out there just kind of confused about what this movie is,
but not his Barbie. It's not his Barbie movie.
It's not his Barbie.
It's his Oppenheimer. Wow.
Not quite as Bin Laden either. It's just simply as Oppenheimer.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I guess he means that the film has a high amount of gravitas and gravitas. That's a word, right? An artistic biopic, exactly. And wow, that's a good callback, Travis. And a lot of merit and a lot of artistic merit, particularly, I think is what he's trying to say. For sure, I agree.
Okay.
I agree. I mean, this should get at least as many Academy Awards as Oppenheimer's probably going to get.
Okay, that's bold. And I thought I would throw in a very level review here, since the other two were seemingly short and silly. We have a 3 star from Amanda Wheeler, and again, this is just very recently, August of 2023. Amanda says, I have a hard time calling this a good movie, but it was very entertaining. I wasn't into it at the beginning, and I thought it would be a typical spy movie, but it was surprisingly different from what I expected. Jamie Lee Curtis is so hot in this, and Arnold is so funny, especially when he's angry. That was Amanda. Amanda sounds sweet.
Yeah, I like Amanda's take on this movie. I think it's pretty much blow for blow the way I was feeling about it, to be honest. I mean, I don't think you could have found a better review right there.
Yeah, let's just kick it to the outro. Thanks, Amanda.
Thank you.
So that was another Uncle Doug's DVD Man. Thank you guys for listening to this season. We really appreciate it. Not just kidding. People that are low on it, we got a 0.5 star from Elise Dumas. This from January of 2023, in the cold month of January. Elise says, sexist, racist, and a little bit homophobic. Didn't help that the 40-year-old incel next to me found every moment of it hilarious. A different guy next to me, not Jonathan. Jonathan only found the sexist bits funny.
I mean, I want to be clear here. I am also against sexism, racism, and homophobia. I totally right out don't like any of them, but I do think her referencing someone we don't know named Jonathan, making excuses for Jonathan, and go, look, he only liked the sexist bits. Like, that was all. He's fine. It's just Jonathan. You know how Jonathan is.
Yep. Turns out Jonathan was the one who was like 4.5 Bin Laden. You know, that was his. That happened to be Jonathan. But no, I thought that was wild. That was a wild ride for me.
That's tough. That's tough, man. You had one review, I think, that was worth it, man, for sure. All right. Well, you know what I think? I think it's time. I'm sorry, Travis. Was I knocking your work? You seem kind of deflated.
I mean, I didn't type them. I just found them. They're not my reviews.
I know, but I just felt like, oh, you only had one that was worth it. And you're like, but I found the other two. But, I mean, one was a home run. The other two were like, okay.
Yeah, okay. All right. That's fair.
Yeah. Well, how about we talk about the plot?
Sure. Let's do it.
I think the biggest takeaway from the opening of this movie is that we think this is going to be a spy movie, right? Because you've got a top, I guess it's not top secret. You've got like a big fancy dinner party going on with what appears to be quite wealthy people entering this dinner party. All right. So right away, I'm thinking James Bond. You know, to me, it tastes of 007. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, anytime you see like a hotel in Switzerland and there's British dudes walking around with slicked back hair and bow ties, you're like, oh, spy stuff.
Yeah. Spy stuff's about to go to. And also a guy is, swimming in underwater. So you're like, okay, he either is like the best gatecrasher of all time or he's a super secret spy.
Yeah, and do you think, because, the first time that we see Arnie in this, he's sort of coming up through a sheet of ice with a knife, and it feels like a callback to the end of Terminator, because he sticks the knife up through the ice, and it's just like it's like the opposite, instead of falling into the lava, he's coming up out of the cold.
Whoa.
Maybe it's the same cinematic universe,
Yeah, I mean, possibly. Terminator seemed a little more serious than that, though. It was like, these are real machines that are taking over our world, Travis. This is just lighthearted super spy nuclear bomb terrorist fun, okay?
Yeah, if only Tom Arnold was in the Terminator, I guess.
I feel like it is worth saying before we get too deep into this movie, like, the tone just radically shifts in this movie from, like, comedy to, like, action to, like, relationship drama. It stays on a pivot. It stays on a swivel.
It really does. The comedy swoops in when sometimes you don't even need it. You're like, we didn't need that.
So this is a comedian saying that we don't need comedy in this movie. So that tells you, man, it is really getting shoehorned in there. I'll tell you that. Well, we have Harry Tasker, Arnold Schwarzenegger's character, whoosh, popping up out of the ice. He's got all kinds of gear on, and he decides to obviously sneak into this highly top secret art party. I guess I'll just call it an art party because I don't know.
Sure.
Underground auction of stolen antiquities. Ooh, that sounds even better, doesn't it?
That was actually really good, Kevin. Did you just pull that out of the dome, bro?
Yeah, man. I you know what? I had an unsavory past.
I noticed that art on your wall behind you. It looks very intricate.
Yeah. It's an original.
Okay.
Anyway,
interesting.
He pops out of the water, and he's like, getting in radio contact with the van, and his buddy, Albert Gibson, played by Tom Arnold, is in there, and you have Facile, which is played by Grant Heslov, is in the van, and they're kind of like the tech support for the super spy. Mm-hmm. But the most ridiculous part of this scene is when he pops off the wetsuit, and he's got the tuxedo underneath. Not a wrinkle. Not a single wrinkle on this MFer.
Yeah, man, you'd be sweating through that if you were in a full body suit. It would have been a mess.
I mean, I literally can't wear a seatbelt on the way to work without wrinkling my shirt.
That's fair. Same.
So we have him. He's popping in a little earpiece so he can communicate with the guys in the van, and he sneaks in. Now, he almost gets busted by a cook who sees him walking through the kitchen. But, Arnie Smoot, he speaks like 27 languages in this film, and he responds to the gentleman in French and lectures him about the food. He steals somebody's champagne, and he's just generally not fitting in, but in the way of people fit in a spy movie. Like, he just walks in, he's making a huge scene, he's talking to himself, to these people's perception, but he's really talking into his earpiece. And you're like, how does no one think this man is insane?
He's just got, that charisma, that confidence. And one thing that it's not so apparent in this scene, but one thing with Arnold Schwarzenegger movies is that you always have to kind of buy that Arnie is sort of a normal guy. in the movies, like similar for like Total Recall and a lot of those other ones where you're like, all right, he's not an over-the-top muscle-bound guy. He's acting like he's pretending to be a human and pretending to be the character in the movie. He's like, it's really hard to sometimes buy what he's up to.
He is, man. It's like it's 2 layers deep. And also, but come on, man, how about them cheekbones? That man has got decent
stunning
cheekbones.
He's peak sexy right here. This is 90s Arnie. This is good stuff.
Well, he sneaks into the bad guy's office, which I like. The bad guy's office has literally no guards on it whatsoever. Bad guy has all this important computer data that he can't possibly lose, but there's no security anywhere in his office. Okay, that's fine. Whatever. I don't care.
This was the 90s. This was before double encryption. This was before malware. You know, he doesn't know what he's up against.
He doesn't. He doesn't know that Arnold Schwarzenegger is going to climb up the side of his house to steal his cat pictures off his computer or whatever Arnold's there to get. So he does that, and then he heads back downstairs. And he pretends that he was looking for the bathroom. He gets kind of like almost busted. He's like, oh, no, I was just looking for the bathroom. Well, as he's heading down, he meets Tia Carrere's character. Am I saying that Carrere or Carrera? Was it Carrera?
I've always said Carrera, but I've never been correct about anything. So it's probably Carrere.
Okay, all right. We'll go with Carrera. How about that?
We could just call her Juno, because that's her name in the movie.
That's it. Juno Skinner is the character's name. He is... This is like one of the coolest things about having a tech team working for you. You always look like you know what you're talking about. So, like, he's talking to her and, like, pretending like he knows about all this art that is around him that he doesn't know about. And I just like that. I would love to have a tech team always on standby just to be like, oh, yeah, you know, that's actually a Dusselgwaffen. And I'll be like, oh, my God, yeah, these Dusselgwaffens, am I right?
Yeah, and I hope it's Tom Arnold. If it's Tom Arnold and you've got a fun tech guy, I don't want anybody who's smarmy and knows too much. I want a fun tech guy.
Is that your number one pick for tech guy, or you got somebody else in mind?
Nah, it's always going to be Tom Arnold, man.
Okay. You and Roseanne, I guess. All right. So he has figured out that he does. Oh, they have I should mention, there is a sexy dance scene here with the beautiful T. Carrere that she's like very, what's the right word? Attracted to. That's not a very good word there, but it's the one we're going with.
Sure.
Attracted to Arnold and his amazing dance moves. Well, one thing comes to another, and Arnold decides, hey, man, I got to get out of this party. So he heads out after, of course, getting her digits, because my man, he don't leave without getting her digits. And some of the guards try to stop him for some reason. He's walking out of the party, but now they decide to stop him, and he just blows up a bomb rather than just using any of like his guile or any of his use of language. He just decides to blow something up and run away.
I know. I thought we jumped to we jumped to plan B so fast.
He did, man. Oh, he also knocks out a couple of Dobermans, too. You're like, I mean, they were attack dogs. I get it. But he just straight up skull cracks these Dobermans. But they were fine. They got back up. They were just like, ow, that kind of hurt.
Yeah. And you ever see Arnie, you don't see him run often in movies. Well, I guess you do. But in this one, I don't know. He's kind of running like... I don't know, like a fat kid through cake. Like he's just kind of tiptoeing through. He doesn't see. You ever watch a movie and you see a guy run and you're like, yeah, you should be running a lot faster than that.
This
is what's behind you scary. You seem like you're kind of half stepping it. That's what I feel.
Yeah, and you there's a whole chase scene that happens here. There are like snowmobiles. There's dudes on skis. There's all kinds of just wackiness happening. This is the first time you catch Arnie's stunt double looking just exactly like a stunt double. Doesn't even look close to Arnold. And that is a pretty consistent, I don't know if you want to call it gaff or just very, very obviously not Arnold throughout the movie. It's kind of fun. I don't know. I mean, you know, shout out to the stunt guy, man. They got to work too. But
I'll say that a lot of the action scenes in this movie aren't just the best. And the whole ski mobile scene is classic James Cameron blowing up an entire national forest for a good scene. It's awesome.
Yeah, as in Switzerland though, so like they're very, very industrious. They probably, just like in Rambo with the Canadians, they probably had it rebuilt in like an hour.
In an hour.
They rebuilt an old growth forest in an hour. That's how resourceful.
So industrious.
Yeah,
yeah, man.
Well, he manages to fire a gun past his friend's face inside of a car and not give him any sort of concussive damage, or just accidentally shoot him in the head.
Shoot him in the head.
And they escape and they head back to Washington, D.C. And of course, Arnie, a.k.a. Harry, gets dropped off at his house with his luggage, trying to kind of maintain his cover. It's late at night. He goes in. He's got a little snow globe kind of present for his daughter. And there's a nice little touch here. His boy, Tom Arnold, Gib, is looking out for him and says, hey, don't forget your wedding ring.
Yeah. Yeah, because remember, his family has no idea he's a spy. He's just supposed to be some software guy.
Yeah, he's just some big old nerd. Which is, again, it's kind of hard to buy. But, I mean, I swear, Arnold just seems like the kind of guy who needs help with his Spotify.
Right?
Get it. Well, so he sneaks into bed with his wife, and he's just trying to get himself a little bit of cover, and she wakes up, and they sort of, as many married couples do like a sleepy snuggle thing right before they go to sleep and start farting on each other. Like, that's basically what happens here. Well, the next day, Harry goes and visits with his daughter. Dana gives her the nice little snow globe, which she is completely unimpressed with, and tells her to, of course, feed her dog. Now, as he's heading downstairs, I think he runs into his wife, played by, did I mention this? Jamie Lee Curtis. Did I mention this?
You've got to, man, if my wife was Jamie Lee Curtis, I'd mention it all the time.
Well, instead, she's just a horse girl, Travis.
I'll take any number of horse girls / Jamie Lee Curtises I can get my hands on. You know what I'm saying?
Just the way it stacks up, man. Well, she is noticing he's not paying very much attention to her while she's getting ready, and he's getting ready in the morning, which, again, hey, man, he hasn't had his coffee yet. You know, gotta cut the guy a break. He's a secret spy. But guess what? She doesn't know he's a super secret spy. Does she, Travis?
Yeah, she doesn't. As we mentioned, she has no idea. And that's going to be, honestly, every bit of the movie. So, buckle up for that.
She makes a little jab at him here when he's not paying attention. She's talking about a plumber and how they got a reduced rate because she had sexual relations with the plumber. And, of course, Arnold's not paying any attention. Or if he is, he's just like, well, I mean, plumbing's expensive. What are you going to do?
Better you than me. You know, I'm glad you're home from 3 to 5.
That's right.
Whenever he's on his way, yeah.
Well, Tom Arnold, Gib, just walks into their house like he owns it. Like, he just comes strolling in, no knock, nothing. And he's got a top secret pack of cigarettes that he puts on the... I'm sorry, as far as like super spy gadgets, this one kind of seems lame, but you know, what are you gonna do? So it's a super secret pack of cigarettes he puts on the mantle, and he's got magic camera glasses that catch Harry's daughter stealing money out of Gib's wallet.
Oh my gosh, these kids, these 90s kids specifically, just wearing bike helmets all day in their ratty clothes, stealing money from adults. God, I miss those days.
Do you?
Kinda.
Well, as they're
That's all I got.
Yeah, is that all you got? Okay, I got
That's all I got. I kind of miss that, yeah.
Well, she runs off with her. Of course, the boyfriend that she has is on. She doesn't run off, as in like she didn't come back. She just goes to school with him, but she like runs out the door and hops on her boyfriend's motorcycle, which I feel like Harry should have more of a problem with. Like, a motorcycle is just generally unsafe, and I don't know. I mean, like, teenagers. I don't know, man. I probably wouldn't let my daughter ride on a motorcycle with her boyfriend to school.
No, I would have had a problem with it because her boyfriend looked like the lead singer of Puddle of Mud, so I would have put a stop to that immediately. I'd have said, you get back in this house. I don't care about you stealing money off my friends, but we don't ride around with people that look like the lead singer of Puddle of Mud.
What's your favorite Puddle of Mud song? Just out of curiosity.
I don't think I have one. The one where he tries his best to sound like Kurt Cobain.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Oh, all of them. I'm sorry. That's what I meant to say.
Well, we get a little bit of a backstory of Gibb and who he is and what he's like. He's been married like 17 times, and
just like Tom Arnold. Yeah,
just like Tom Arnold. And tells Harry that his daughter's definitely banging this guy, and you're like, whoa, slow down. Slow down. Listen, just because she got on his motorcycle, all right, that's a little sexist. I'm going to say that's sexist thing number one. Just because you ride on a man's motorcycle don't mean you're riding on his motorcycle.
That's right. Hard lesson for some men to learn. But I do want this top secret establishment we're in. This is as fancy as it gets for like 90s spy thinking, man. We got a pristine white hallway. We got all kinds of fingerprint scanners. We've got a guard that you have to check in with who has a loaded gun right under their desk that they just cock every day. Every time somebody comes through it, they're like, I'm going to have to shoot this. And then they don't. And then they go in and they walk by guards behind bulletproof glass. Yeah. I mean, this is pre 9/11, by the way. This is what we were thinking of before we got serious about it.
Well, as a quick factoid about this, they had actually gone into pre-production or pre-planning for True Lies 2, and they actually scrapped it because of 9/11, because terrorism was not such a topic to make an action comedy about anymore.
Agreed. Yeah.
Which is pretty wild, because, I mean, you think about it, this was like $100 million movie or something like that, and they were just like, nah. I mean, other than just like, could you just use a different villain? Like, do you have to? Do you have to do like racist Arab stereotypes? Like, do you have to?
It wouldn't be above the plot line of this film to bring aliens into it at some point.
Yeah,
you know? It's so ridiculous. I know, right? Or just we chasing down, we're finding Bigfoot. Who gives a? Let's
give James Cameron.
Yeah, give James Cameron $100 million and a cryptid villain. I'll watch whatever he's got.
I'm sorry. I really hope they end up on the Titanic, though. That would be high. So there's a scene. It's just like the every scene in every cop, spy, government agency movie. He comes back from the mission where he blew stuff up and he gets like yelled at for a little bit, but it's just like light yelling. It's like, hey, you're kind of in trouble. It is Charlton Heston yelling at him. So with an eye patch.
Yeah, with an eye patch. Like, what'd you shoot your eye with a BB gun? What did you do? What'd you do, Charlton?
Well, if you did, you'd have to pry out of his cold, dead, one-eyed hand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's, I don't know, some MacGuffin thing. Basically, we find out that the main bad guy has bought, like, some nuclear bombs. I mean, that's the gist of it. He spent, oddly enough, I think he spent like $100 million, which was the budget of this movie.
Oh, isn't that kind of nuts?
I mean, it just seems like a lot of money, so maybe that's just how it worked out. Like it's a coincidence. Or are you saying like they intentionally were like, we cannot spend a dime more or less than $100 million?
I just think it's wild that like the amount of money they were kind of playing with to showcase the stakes of this was the exact amount that they spent to make 2.5 hours of entertainment.
Oh, that's true.
It's wild.
I mean, if you could get either a couple nuclear warheads or another True Lies, I'd take another True Lies.
Yeah. Again, with the cryptid bent.
Yeah, on the Titanic. Exactly.
Yes,
that's what I'm looking for. Well, they're essentially kind of looking for some evidence of what bad guys are trying to do with these particular weapons. Well, we get a little cross-cut to Helen Tasker, who is Jamie Lee Curtis's character at work. And she's just talking about how boring her husband is, that she just thinks he's completely sort of uninteresting. And that's the gist of that scene. It just gives us a little bit of character development and sort of lets us know maybe she's bored with their relationship or bored with her big, muscular, successful, sexy husband.
And I get it. He's just maybe too muscular. He's so muscular, it's kind of boring, It's like, he's just like if I drew a muscular guy, I'd just draw Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's kind of cookie cutter, She needs a guy with more character, maybe more chest hair, a couple moles on his face, something to really talk about.
Yeah, somebody maybe like Bill Paxton, but we'll get there in just a little bit. Well,
with a fun little mustache. Yep.
We jump back to the top secret super spy agency, and we find out that there is a $2 million payment from the bad guy to Juno Skinner. Hey, you remember that art dealer? That's who it is.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right.
So like, hey man, we should probably go talk to her, because that seems like it's. And there actually maybe this is where it gets a little sexist because he's like, that's like too much money for sex, even for someone as attractive as her. Is that sexist?
Okay.
It feels sexist.
Yeah, I mean, of course.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, $2 million. It does seem like a lot for sex.
I mean, it's
in the
a lot
90s.
for. I mean, yeah, that is. In today's sex money, that's a ton.
Like, I mean, you're not spending that on somebody meeting a KFC parking lot. You know, that's going to be like that is going to be like a Tia Carrere sort of situation.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I could afford her with my life savings, and no, there's no chance.
Well, maybe if you had 4 nuclear weapons, or hear me out, a True Lies sequel. All right.
Damn, who do we write?
James Cameron, is that?
Dear James Cameron.
He's kind of into the Avatar thing now, so it's probably not going to happen. Well, Harry assumes his identity and is it a secret? Does he do a secret identity here? I can't remember if he just walks in and goes, "Hey, I'm Harry."
Good question.
Neither would surprise me. Let's just say that he's doing a secret identity here that he has alluded to.
Yeah, he's the same person that he met her as, because she says, "Oh, hello, nice to see you again." He's like, "Yes, I thought I'd see you again too."
I mean, he's not a great super spy, but he's probably not just flat out tell you his real name back, is he?
Yeah, probably not, like handing her his ID or anything. Probably not. He's also not a good spy because he's so recognizable.
Well, they kind of walk around, look at some antiquities. We get to know her a little bit more. We find out she's maybe a little morally flexible, that maybe she's willing to get things in illegally. So we get a little suspicious of her, but there isn't really much other than that suspicion that comes out of this conversation, other than she's bringing in, artifacts and antiquities from, the Middle East. Now,
Ancient Persia,
right? Well, as soon as he leaves, the big bad of the film, Aziz, shows up, and he just goes full hard. Like, he's like, "Are you lying to me? Are you doing stuff that's going to get me in trouble?" Like, smacks her in the face, and you're like, dude, settle down. I mean, it is bad that he's investigating, but just settle down. Maybe ask a few questions before you go so hard.
Yeah, what I like about Aziz, or the actor Art Malik, is that my forehead really aspires to have his forehead, and his hairline is just it's insane. It's just kind of like somebody drew squiggles around his face, and that's where I'm headed.
It kind of reminds me of maybe Stephen Wright's forehead.
Yep. Man, I'm on my way there, and I tell you what, if it makes me funnier, I'm okay with it.
I mean, you'll get there eventually. Don't worry, bud. We all will. Well, we head back to. I don't know if I mentioned this at some point. Again, a lot of this stuff just doesn't matter. But I mean, I feel like I probably should say. So he's got a fake hotel suite set up to kind of. Yeah, I guess he is using a fake identity if he went to the trouble of getting a fake suite set up. Well. He has a call home to his wife, and she says, "Hey, we're making special stuff for you for your birthday or something, whatever." Anyway, it's a special dinner, and we know that he can't miss it. Elsewise, he's going to get in trouble with his family. I also have a problem with the fact that his daughter is cooking a cake and frosting the cake, and she has her hairy gizmo dog just hanging out over top of the cake. That's not even. He doesn't even have a hairnet on the dog, Travis.
And the dog, I think she lets it lick the icing spoon one time. And even Jamie Lee Curtis is like, "Okay, that's disgusting." And I was like, "Yeah, don't you put that away." Elisha Dushku, what are you doing, girl? Put the dog down. Go to your room.
Maybe
get out of this movie.
Maybe Harry misses a lot of meals just because they are so hairy.
She keeps bringing the dog into the kitchen.
What was
making it lick all of the utensils. I don't know how to do an Arnie.
Oh, you're doing an Arnie. Okay, all right.
Yeah, it's more like Dracula's constipated, but they're close for me.
I was thinking Russian Dracula. You had a little bit of a Russian Dracula thing going on there. I kind of liked it though. I wish we had a video podcast so people could see what you're doing with your face right now, but I'll just do the service of asking them to use their imaginations.
Okay. Yeah. Imagine my face, which is kind of like Art Malik's, and I'm just doing my best Arnie. That's all you got to do.
There you go. Perfect. Well, they are heading back home when they realize, oh no, I'm sorry, you probably would like to know who that is. That's Gib and Harry. That's Gib and Harry.
Tom and Arnie.
That's right, Tom and Arnie. They're heading back, presumably Harry, so he can make it to his dinner, and he realizes that he's being chased. Well,
yeah.
What proceeds to happen is Arnie uses those top secret cigarette camera glasses situations and watches as people follow him. And he leads them, instead of just like, I don't know, just driving up to a police station. Like, just, I don't know, anything that would make these people not follow him anymore. He decides, nah, I'm going to get out and walk around a little bit with this cigarette camera deal because it's neat.
He just wants to try out the technology, but he does lead them to a bathroom. I guess this is after, though. I think he calls his wife first and says, like, yo, I'm not going to make it. Maybe she calls him. But anyway, he definitely disappoints his family, and then he walks into a restroom where we have some action.
Yeah, at first, he lures the bad guys into this bathroom. Weird, but okay. And he does. Yeah. He's like, he just
weird
can't...
that he lured them, or weirder that they were like, let's just go in here and watch him pee. That'd be fine.
We could maybe shoot him in the bathroom. We could get him in there. That'd be a good place. And of course he does the fake pee, like, or maybe he real pees. I don't know. Maybe he had to go. I don't know. There's also a dude pooping. There has to be a dude pooping because it's like
reading the newspaper. Who has the forethought of being out in public and being like, I'm going to need a newspaper because I'll probably have to use the public dumper very soon. And he's like on page 8, like he's been there a minute.
He needs more fiber in his diet. Just judging by the page of or maybe when he get to the sports section, cut the guy a break.
Yeah, okay, fair.
Well, there's a fight scene. I mean, like, we could describe it blow by blow, but just know that there's a fight scene. There's a bunch of jokes that happen with the guy that's pooping. And it's pretty epic fight scene. Like, you just have to sort of watch it to enjoy it. It reminds me of the one... It
feels kind of John Wick-ish, like its pace.
No, have you seen the Mission Impossible bathroom fight scene?
I'm going to admit, I've never watched a Mission Impossible. Does Doug have any?
I would imagine at least he's got some of the early ones, but we'll have to dig into the bin and see if we ever find one of those. But big time fight gun scene happens, and at some point, Aziz gets tired of waiting in the car, like you do when your wife's in shop, and he's like, I'm gonna go find out what's going on in here myself. So he goes in the bathroom, tries to get in a little bit of a fight scene. Thing doesn't go well for him, and so he decides, I need to flee, I need to escape. He like fires off some rounds as he's trying to escape because Tom Arnold's trying to keep him from escaping, or Gib trying to keep him from escaping, and he fires at this. Like, Tom Arnold, he's not a skinny man, and he hides behind a light pole, and the bullet somehow, it's like a Looney Tunes where, like, it cuts out his outline around the wall.
Yeah, but then he steps out from the light pole and feels his ass and his belly, and he's like, oh, thank God.
He's like,
I think he, like, does, like, a little kiss to the light pole. That's a great scene.
Well, at this point, Aziz is trying to get away. He grabs someone off of their motorcycle, and Harry, there's no way to say this, Travis. He commandeers a horse.
Oh,
a police horse, by the way.
Let the fun begin. And this was my wife's least favorite part of the movie.
Oh, why? I thought she was a horse girl.
Mistreatment.
Oh, no.
You can't just be taking horses and running. I don't know. She's not seen the movie. I was just making a reference. But I bet if she had seen it, she would have said, hey, you leave that horse alone.
God, I wish you would just let it run. I wish you would just kept ramping up how upset your wife was about the horse scene in this movie.
She won't watch 2.5-hour movies with me. That's 2.5 hours with me.
Oh, no. Is that why you started this podcast, Travis, is so you'd have somebody to watch movies with?
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Uncle Doug. I didn't start this podcast. You did. Quit blaming podcasts on me. I've already got a bad reputation.
Well, they have what is, in my estimation, one epic chase scene involving maybe the most epic chase scene involving a motorcycle and a horse ever. He chases him into a hotel. Into elevators. They both somehow find respective elevators that you could fit both a motorcycle and a horse into, and ride it all the way to the very top of this hotel. And Aziz manages to get away because he takes a flying jump off of the hotel on his motorcycle and lands in a pool that's like 3 buildings away. Like, it's across a big alley.
Yeah, and that's easily the worst CGI in the entire film is watching his little character shrink down as it flies across to the other buildings. It's like, okay, what was that? This looks like it was, what is this, The Explorers? Did you ever see that movie? But also, too, there were some funny gags in the elevator. He's in there with that old couple, and that old guy's like, it's a beautiful animal. And then the tail hits the old lady in the face. There's just so many good gags. He has to wait for the elevator to ding with the horse. Everybody's kind of quiet. So many good little moments. I love that.
It is great, but I've got to think, like, that horse has to be such a trustworthy, good horse, because I've been kicked in the leg by a horse, and I'm going to tell you, you don't want to be kicked, like, trapped in an elevator where your body has nowhere to go with a horse. Like, that's... I wonder if it was, like, maybe the horse's owners. Maybe they had, like, the horse, like, somebody the horse was really bonded with.
I noticed the horse changes colors about 4 or 5 times, so they probably kept shooting and killing all the horses that were out of hand, you know what I mean? And then they would just bring... in front of the other ones, and they'd be like, if you do what he did, you're getting it, and then they'd bring in another horse.
Travis, I'm not even a horse girl, and I don't like what you just said.
And the whole part where he was trying to get the horse to jump the same jump that the motorcycle did, they apparently tried 4 or 5 horses before they had to rewrite that part to where he didn't jump.
There was apparently the horse that they were filming with, it was on a rooftop with Arnold on it, and it got skittish at one point, and he almost did get chucked off the side of the building, and he managed to kind of hop off the side and not get thrown off the building, which is crazy.
That's terrifying.
Crazy, right? Like, the horse nearly threw him off, Travis. Think of the California would have been without a governor, and we wouldn't have gotten Kindergarten Cop. Okay? Like, the whole world would be different without Arnie.
I agree. I'm upset. But we move on from that. He does scold the horse, which was funny.
Yeah, he looks at the horse. He's like, yeah, because the horse, you probably said this, Trav, but I just want to make sure that we belabor the point, and we, in fact, beat those 6 dead horses. The horse in the film runs up to the edge and refuses to jump. Arnold kind of, like, falls over the edge and climbs back up the horse. He says, man, what's wrong with you? You're supposed to be a police horse.
Yeah, come on. You're supposed to sacrifice yourself for the greater good. But the horse is like, nah, bro, I'm not doing that.
Well, after all that excitement... Gib drops Harry back off at home, and his poor wife is asleep at the table. She'd made a cake with hair in it for him and everything, and he comes in and he sort of apologizes, and she's upset, but she accepts his apology. She thinks something happened at work or something. I forget whatever lie he made up, but it was certainly a true lie, wasn't it, Travis?
Oh, God, you're fired. Your last 5 minutes have been your best ever.
Thank you. Well, we find out that Aziz is a fanatical, major terrorist. Not a minor. He's a major terrorist, okay?
Right on, yeah.
And this is back in the super secret, and then we're back there in the super secret spy line. So we get all that information. And Harry says, man, that's crazy. He's the guy known as the Sand Spider, and that he formed the Crimson Jihad. I sure would like some lunch. And so he decides to go visit his wife at the office. And
I like the part where he's like, why do you think they call him Sand Spider? And he's like, probably because it sounds scary.
I mean, that is fair. It does sound terrifying. Like, I would not, like, oh, man, you're going to wake up with a sand spider in your room. No,
whatever that is, no thanks, yeah.
Well, Harry just decides to pop in unannounced and see his wife, and he overhears Helen talking to her coworker about a mystery man, Travis.
Yeah, how uncomfortable is that?
Named Simon.
Yeah, he, like, sneaks into her work, eavesdrops on her conversation while she's being pretty sus. Mm-hmm. I mean, she's even got one of her workmates kind of be like, tell me what happens, kind of end on it like, okay, all right, what's happening here? Even as the viewer of the movie, you're not really clued in on what's going on. You don't know where this is going.
Yeah.
So you kind of feel for Arnie. You're like, oh, shit, dude. Then he goes outside and kind of commiserates with Tom Arnold, who does not give it a soft landing.
No, he's much like you making him too many chair jokes at me, Travis. He's like so excited that Arnold's wife is having an affair, or Harry's wife is having an affair.
Yeah.
You're like, man, settle down.
He gets to have a trench buddy. He's like, oh, we have so much to talk about. We have so much in common now. This is amazing.
And I gotta say, man, this is where the movie gets not as good. This whole subplot, basically what's going to happen over the next little bit is Harry's going to use probably millions of dollars of government resources to just stalk his wife.
Yeah, stalk his wife and then get real weird with it, too. Man. I'm just glad that Jamie Lee Curtis consented to this.
I mean, marriage vows they only account for so much. And your husband interrogating you under the guise of being a government operative is just not, it's not in most.
It's out of bounds, right?
Most wedding vows. Well, they have dinner together that night, and man, you can tell Harry he's just fuming. He thinks his wife's out just trotting it all over town, and he's just like fuming. And he's thinking, I'm gonna get some revenge. So it worked.
I think meanwhile in this timeline, the real Arnie is making babies with his maiden housekeeper. So I mean, come on.
Have you seen his son with the housekeeper, the maid?
No.
Man, his son looks exactly like him. Like, I don't even know how he hid that. Like, you look at this kid and you're like, that is definitely Arnie Jr.
I'll Google it in a while.
Well, we find out that back at the office, they do get some permission. They're doing somewhat of their job at this point. They wiretap Juno and find out that
Holy cow! Yeah, that is Arnie's. Wow,
you just did it.
It was like his clone. Holy cow!
It does, right? Like, how did he hide that?
Yeah, he looks more Austrian than Arnold.
Arnold,
that's insane.
I swear he must be a super spy to keep that secret, because there is just how did Maria Shriver not go, our housekeeper's son
Jeez,
has your cheekbones, and no one has your cheekbones, not even our kids. How did that happen, Arnie?
He even came out crying in that accent. He's like, "Ho-ah! Ho-ah!" I don't know. That wasn't very good, but you get what I mean.
I get it. It was Russian Dracula. And so anyway, we find out that Aziz has still been up to some bad stuff, but Harry is way too distracted by this affair situation. So he has his wife's phone tapped, and so he's like reading her transcript of her phone conversation with this Simon character. All right, and she has agreed to meet Simon for lunch at their same place. Her and Simon have a usual place, Travis.
Yeah, I mean, if I were Arnie, I'd be upset. I don't know that I would spend millions of government dollars and drag my friend Tom Arnold into the whole thing, but I get where he's coming from.
It's very, very true. I don't know. It's hard to say what any of us would do in a sort of.
But what if you found out that it was actually Bill Paxton? Would you be like, okay, yeah, I get it. Yeah.
I mean, at this point, it's like zombie Bill Paxton, so I'd be like, we do whatever you got to do. Yeah, just if you're that desperate for the Pax Man, just have at it, baby. Well, somehow I can't remember. They get a listening device at the table. I can't remember if they stick it in a purse or whatever they do, but they're listening to Simon, who appears to be a top secret agent, and they're like, "Oh man, is he an operative? Is he trying to get to you, Harry, through your wife? Like, what is this guy doing?" And it becomes apparent very quickly that he is a total phony, because he's like taking credit for literally the thing, riding the horse through the hotel in the elevator that Arnie did the night before.
Yeah, taking credit for anything that he just read on the news. He does do a thing where he says something and Tom Arnold's like, "Ooh, I like this guy." And Arnold shoots him a look. And Tom Arnold's like, "Yeah, but I mean, of course we got to kill him.
we got to take him.
Still got to kill him."
The way they decide to get a little closer look at this Simon is they follow him back to his car dealership. Turns out he's a used car salesman. Now, if anybody was going to pretend to be a super secret spy and seduce women while driving a vintage Corvette, it'd be a used car salesman.
100%. And I got to say, Bill Paxton's character here is one of my favorite things in the world. I would buy so many cars from this guy. He's got me hook, line, and sinker. He's so charismatic. He's the best. I could even see right through him. I'd be like, this guy's lying to me, but I wouldn't be able to say no to him, Kevin. He's just so good.
He's so good at it, right? So Harry's like, I need to get a cut of this this guy. I need to get a cut of his I don't know. I need to know more about this guy. That's what I need to do.
Get a cut of his gib. That's Tom Arnold's character.
Yeah, it's anyway, that's what his ex-wife's got in the divorce. Am I right? A cut of the gibster. Huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. I hate you too. All right. So anyway, they hop in this Corvette. Harry pretends he's interested in it, and Harry's just doing classic spy interrogation stuff here. And Bill Paxton is more than happy to just spill the beans about how great he is at seducing bored housewives. You know. So Arnold is kind of getting a picture of this guy's MO, right? Like he pretends to be a super spy to get bored housewives to give him a little bang bang.
That's right. And he might divulge a little too much, be a little too flippant, not realizing that he's one of the housewives that he is trying to put the moves on is in fact the wife of the very strong gentleman to his right in the car.
Yes. And he has this Harry and Simon are riding back in the Corvette after Simon has talked about this new chick he's working on, and she's got nice lady parts and stuff that he likes looking at, and kind of slimy and greasy. Now, Harry's driving at this point. He has this fantasy about smashing his face in.
That's the part, yeah. Because Bill Paxton says the line. I don't think we could ignore it, Kevin. I think we have to say something.
Is this the buttermilk thing? Are you doing the buttermilk thing?
Well, there's that part, but then he ends it right before the fantasy shot of Arnold smashing his face in. He says that she has the ass of a 10-year-old boy, which is the wildest thing I've ever heard in a movie. But it is funny, and he does get smashed in the face. But we realize that was just Arnie wishing he could smash him in the face.
And then we see Arnie's sweet driving skills as he whips this car back into the parking lot, and he doesn't get an answer from Simon whether he's sealed the deal with his wife yet or not. So Harry is, needless to say, still very, very suspicious. Now we find out from the wiretaps that Harry's wife has agreed to meet Simon. Where's it, under a bridge or something? It's under a bridge, real shady.
Yeah, somewhere Anthony Kiedis is there with a bunch of heroin. It's weird.
So they meet up under a bridge, and by they, I mean Simon and Helen. And Simon basically convinces her, I need you to come back to my super secret hideout. And again, this is just crazy amounts of money that Harry is wasting for that. He's not investigating the terrorists that have nuclear bombs at this point. He's just following his wife around. There's a whole she puts her head in Simon's lap as he's driving thing.
Yeah, he kind of forces it down there to sneak her. Yeah, and that's a little weird. But Arnold's already called in the cavalry. He's already called in backup from the skies. We got helicopters and all kinds of special agents that are going to be tracking them,
so they track them all the way out of town. There's helicopters, there's tailing vehicles, there's all kinds of stuff. I mean, it's ridiculous. Back to they follow him back to Simon's, presumably his place, which is in a trailer park, and he's like, "Oh, of course, this is where I live. This is my secret hideout," or whatever excuse he makes. Here's my question. All right, so he has two straight up what appears to be valid airplane tickets. Has he went to United Airlines and bought, is he that invested in seducing this housewife that he went and just bought $800 worth of plane tickets?
Great question. I don't know. I don't know how expensive flying was back then, but maybe he had miles to spend. Maybe you don't know. We don't know.
Well,
he used Expedia. Maybe discount.
Yeah, .com. Probably had to ask Jeeves about it too, since it was 1994.
Yeah.
But he spins this whole narrative of how he needs her to help him pull off this cover story of being his wife, and so that's what the tickets are for, so she can fly overseas with him, because he knows she's bored, she needs a little excitement. He's like, well, we have to play the part. Yeah, so let's just see what happens when I try to kiss you with my mustache mouth.
Yeah, let me put my arm on you. Let me put my hand on you. And she's just recoiling like, well, I don't know about all this.
And this is just genuinely uncomfortable. Like, it's so uncomfortable. Ugh.
It is. And it lingers, I think, a bit. We could have gotten... the point was across, and then we kept at it.
Yeah, I think that's the story of this whole like subplot, and like it becomes pretty apparent to us, the viewer, not to Harry, because he's outside with his SWAT team that he's assembled to bust open this trailer. But it becomes apparent to us, the viewer, that Helen has not consummated her fascination, or she hasn't had sex with the guy. I don't know why. Yeah. I couldn't get
hasn't
there.
Consummated her fascination is also a good way. It's a very Christian way to put it. But no, they haven't banged in the bus. But something wild does happen, because whatever they do, it happens so fast. Do they cut the end of the trailer off?
Yeah, they do, man. The whole team cuts open the end of the trailer and pulls
like
them
a cigar
out.
cutter.
Yeah,
it's insane. But he falls on top of her, so it looks like they were mid dry hump.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. That they were consummating their fascination, and
dryly though.
So he again, I don't know how Harry has enough juice to pull this off, but he like basically arrests both of them, takes them into government custody, and puts her in an interrogation room, with
no oversight.
Yeah, no
one else is
oversight.
asking questions
like,
about
what is
it.
happening?
Movie magic is what's happening.
Well, he sets up like it's got a voice distortion thing. I'm not sure how. I mean, Arnold, he speaks English very well, but he does have an accent. So I'm not sure how the voice distortion covers up his very obvious accent, but it does.
And that was the only way they could get away with this, is to make it the most garbled. Because I was thinking about that, because I was like, she's going to recognize. But then when you hear it, you're like, oh, God. You could barely make out what it's saying, because it's like shadow voice from the nether realm.
Well, this is just... this is over the top. Like, this is just emotional abuse. Like, I get it. You think she may have had an affair. Fine. Maybe talk to her about it. This is what happens when men have too many resources. We don't know what to do with ourselves. Like, we will literally stage a kidnapping rather than just talk to someone.
Insane. Yeah, he gets into the sex life and all that stuff. Tom Arnold's also egging it on. He's asking questions no one's excited to hear answers for. It gets out of hand, Kev.
It really does. Well, they just to speed through it, so we don't have to be any more uncomfortable than we have to be. We get the backstory of how Simon had sort of like brought this narrative to Helen about this briefcase, all the secret stuff, and started to like communicate with her, and he kind of tricked her into some stuff along those lines. And Harry just keeps trying to find out if they consummated their fascination, and it becomes evident that they probably didn't throughout the course of the conversation, because she gets so angry at him asking, and she's scared, But she gets so angry she like punches the double mirror, and I'm like,
hits it with a chair until it breaks. I'm like, awesome. Well, that's not a good enough mirror.
They need a better mirror than that.
That chair wouldn't have broken on you though, Kev. That's a tough chair.
You know what? I do appreciate that chair. It got smashed into a two-way mirror and still stood tall. That's the kind of chair I can believe in.
Absolutely.
Well, at the end of this, I guess he's still not done wanting to torment his poor wife. So he says, you now work for super secret government agency, and you're going to be getting a call from your code name, your handler, who has a code name Boris, and your name is going to be Doris.
Yeah,
I guess
that makes
not.
sense.
In Spy World, you're not real creative. That's fine. And then they take poor Simon. I mean, this guy. Poor Simon. He's kind of a scumbag. But like, he's even being a scumbag, he doesn't exactly deserve this. They're pretending that he's Carlos the Jackal. They put a gun to his head at the edge of like a dam, make him pee his pants.
Pees his pants.
It's again, it's excessive. It's excessive, Harry. And Gibbs, but you know what? Gibbs is ride or die, man. He's there for it.
He's there for it. They scare the poor guy. He pees himself. He thinks they're going to shoot him in the back, and they end up feeling kind of sorry for how pathetic he is, and they just leave him. They just speed off, and they fire a few shots at his feet, get in the van, and leave him there. So crazy.
Well, the next day, Harry's just enjoying. He's so proud of himself. He's so proud to torture his wife. But like it gets justified in dialogue at some point where you think like, well, maybe he's not such a scumbag. He's like, she wanted some excitement, so I'm gonna like give her this excitement of being like this secret agent kind of thing. I don't know. They try to justify it. It still doesn't make him a very likable character.
Yeah, it doesn't connect very well at all. There needed to be some more justification, or we needed to really remove a lot of the psychological abuse that just happened. Something needed to be tweaked.
Yeah, I think you and I talked about it. Like, this whole subplot just doesn't need to happen. Like, there could be a few fun like exchanges about like he's keeping the secret from her, and then eventually it gets divulged. Like, there doesn't have to be an affair subplot and like all this weird like stalking and torture and emotional abuse. Like, none of that needs to happen. But the movie's like, nah, people will think this is hilarious.
Yeah, people will definitely like seeing Bill Paxton eat a chili dog and drive a car fast. So let's go ahead and add that in.
We've got to have... What do you mean we don't have the Paxton man eating a chili dog? Oh, my God. That's the genius of James Cameron with a K. So... essentially what happens here, and I'll try to rein it in a little bit because there's a whole lot of silliness that happens, but Gibb calls using the voice distortion and says, hey, we need you to go meet with this informant. He likes to watch people do sexy dancing. You're a prostitute, and you're gonna pretend to be a lady of the evening. All right, and
it just gets worse, right? It just keeps getting more and more f***ed up.
And so
Pardon my cuckoo.
Yeah, no, I get you. It is. And so they end up in this hotel suite. Now, this is the same hotel suite they're supposed to be using to investigate the terrorists. The terrorists with nuclear weapons. Okay, fine. We'll set that aside. I do like this touch, though. Harry has had, they have a French guy that works at the office record all these different lines as the French guy, right? Okay, so remember that. That's been recorded. So she goes in, and Harry is sitting off in the darkened corner. Again, I got to think that she would look at him and go like, oh, that looks like my husband. But whatever, that's fine. It's dark. It's probably not. Oh, also, she does a little move here to make herself look extra sexy hot. Like she's out in the hallway. Mm-hmm. And she rips off the frills on this dress, and suddenly it's just like bam! It's just a LBD little black dress, and she smooths her hair back, and she's just looking all hot. And so she goes in, and Harry is playing like these. I can't believe how good he is. I mean, I guess it's a super spy thing at getting the right part of the tape to play at the right time.
So
to
the
say
conversation
the right thing.
Works. Insane. I was thinking that, and then he just rewinds it just enough so that a line will repeat. Like, how'd you not go back and get the tail end of the previous line just a little bit? You know? Exactly. And who's not hearing the clicks on the thing? It bothers me. Every bit of it bothers me. But also, she's funny with it. She comes in and she's supposed to dance, and she kind of plays off like she don't know what she's doing. She's milquetoast.
But boy, she figures it out quick, don't she?
Yeah, when we talked about how a lot of this part of the movie didn't need to be in here, like this part I'll vouch for. This is a pretty good part.
This probably needed to be in here.
Yeah, we find a way to get that in there at least. Yeah.
I know what you're saying. Well, so she does this sexy dance move because the French tape recorder told her to do so, and then it tells her to lay on the bed. And I guess this is where. Again, this is creepy. Arnold was going to or Harry's character was going to out himself and be like, it was me the whole time. Surprise.
Surprise.
I don't know what his expectation was here. Like, did he think that his wife was going to be like, oh, you're so romantic. You just tricked me into thinking I was risking my life and going to get murdered and naked in front of a stranger. And then, bam, she hits him in the face with a phone like he deserves.
Yeah. One of those 90s hotel nightstand phones that weigh about 30 pounds and just bong! Oh, it's good stuff. Because if this had happened in 2008, there's just one of those old plastic dial down to the bottom floor phones, doesn't even have a bell inside of it. He wouldn't have phased him.
Yeah, well, you know what? She could have grabbed a Bible of Gideon, put in there, and man, they're always putting Bibles in hotel rooms. She could have knocked him clean out with that.
Yeah, she gave him the holy haymaker. You're right.
Boom. But I appreciated the phone right to the face. It felt good. It felt like he deserved it.
Oh, he did. She gives him a few kicks and kicks in the ribs. Like I was like, keep going, kill him. You be the rest of the movie.
Okay, now that's a little too far. Considering
kill him.
Just
take his life.
Jesus, Travis. God, do you have your eyes closed again? Are you thinking about John Wayne Gacy?
Treat him like one of the horses.
Well, she turns back as Harry shouts like, "Hey, it's me. You just hit me in the face with a phone." And they have this little moment where there's like just some confusion, and then all of a sudden terrorists show up.
Terrorist.
And so they grab up Harry and they grab up Helen as well, and they take them to the airport where Juno is there, and they sort of like throw them on a plane. Now, Harry is going out of his way to just say, "Hey, this is just some hooker. You don't need to take her." And then his...
Helen's all about it, though.
She's like, "No,
man.
I
She's
am
like,
his wife. I am his wife. Who are you? Who do you think you are?"
Look at this heart-shaped locket on my... Would a hooker have put a picture of him in here with me? Would a hooker have done that?
I mean, one that you're paying $2 million for.
Yeah, she'd do her homework, wouldn't she? But no, we get a trank dart right in the neck.
Yeah, they so she outs herself as his wife, and they both get essentially knocked out on this I guess private jet, which is great. And they end up somehow they get from the private jet to a helicopter. Don't know how that happens. Doesn't really matter. Don't care. They end up on this island. Okay. We don't know where this island is, but we know that it's full of terrorists getting ready to do terrorist stuff.
Yeah, it looks like a level in Far Cry 3. It's just terrorists and explodey devices everywhere and helicopters and palm trees. It's like we've entered a different realm. This movie, by the way, still has an hour to go.
Yeah, it sure does. It sure does at this point. But there's that really cool scene later where she gets lifted out of the limousine as it's crashing in the water. That's coming up. That's worth at least another hour. So they're on the island, and they basically are doing the Bond supervillain thing where they're just basically telling Harry their whole plan. They're like, "Yeah, that's right. We smuggled the nukes and these priceless artifacts." So this
we smuggled the nukes
me.
in something we stole that everyone's looking for.
Yeah, well, they're like, "These are priceless artifacts. We put the nukes inside them," and then they rip the side of them off. It's like, well, how'd you get them in there? Well, yeah, but how'd you get them in? Like,
did you make the art around it somehow? Like, what'd you do? That would be like, "Hey, check out. This is just look at the Trojan horse. By the way, we also stole the horse, and by the way, there's a nuke in it."
Yeah, that's the gist of what happens here. Well, Aziz is trying to figure out who Harry is and how he's gotten onto him. So he threatens his Helen, his wife, with I think a knife or a gun or something. And at that point, Harry is like, "Okay, all right, I'll tell you who I am. I'll give you all the knowledge I have. This is a nuclear weapon, and it does this, and it's got GPS on it, and it's got an espresso maker back here. It's got all the bells. It's got everything you want on a nuclear weapon."
Helen's like, "Oh my God, who are you?"
That's right. And then he's like, I'm a super spy. What can I say?
Yeah. Also, let's put them together. Why if you were any terrorist worth your salt, you would separate your hostages, especially ones that were married to one another so they couldn't collude. But no, they got them in the same room.
That's right.
Come on.
But you know what? I'm glad they do, because for the second time in this movie, she just hits him right in the face. Helen just punches him right in the face for all his lies, which honestly, I mean, his true lies. Honestly, if he had just told her earlier at any point in their relationship, "Hey, I'm a super secret spy," she would have at least not outed herself as his wife. Like, she's at least that smart.
Yeah. That's exactly. So again, everything that's wrong in this movie is 100% his fault. Not giving her any attention, not being there for the family, not telling her some of the truths about what he's up to, even though he's a super secret spy. I mean, I don't know. Maybe still communicate about your relationship. And then maybe also don't psychologically torture her or set her up for some weird rape fantasy in a hotel room that you were going to do like an oopsie on. That's it's all bad.
It's all bad. What are you doing, Harry? Why? Well, after he gets punched in the face, he essentially is now forced, in order to keep his wife alive, to describe the weapon on camera. There's a bit here, and it's funny, but I don't want it to be, where, like, it's this terrorist, they've got a nuclear weapon, Arnold has to describe it, Harry has to describe it, and then Aziz is, like, ranting in front of the camera about, like, all these atrocities that have been committed against his people, and, like, the battery is slowly dying on the camera, and, like, I've been there, man, like, somebody's on one, and you don't want to have to stop and tell them, because you're going to get the wrath.
The idea... Because we're all familiar with, like, the terrorist videos that get sent out of the media. The idea that some of them have had to be reshot because of a dead battery does make me laugh.
I mean, it's like really dark humor in a movie that up until this point has not had that kind of dark humor. But again,
not that kind.
Pre 9/11, I guess it just wasn't. It felt like it was more okay to joke about, I guess.
Honestly, a more innocent time for these kinds of jokes. That's just the way things go.
Yeah. Well, we eventually get what Aziz's plan is, and it's to blow up the nuclear bombs and cause chaos. Like, of course, like he's gonna get his revenge for blowing
regular old villain.
Yeah, good. Just that old chestnut of villain stuff. Well, they do find a transmitter, a tracking device that Harry had stuck in his wife's purse to kind of be able to stalk her, and so now we know that at least the super secret government agency is coming to hopefully intervene. But Harry and Helen are taken to a basically like a shed. A little bit smaller than Uncle Doug's shed, but a shed nonetheless. Mm-hmm. And they are basically signed up for some torture. They're going to get tortured for information. So creepy doctor guy rolls out a whole host of chopping and pulling and twisting tools that he owns.
Yeah.
And he decides, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give Harry some truth serum first. That's what I'm going to do. So he gives him a shot of that.
Which you think might just do it. You might not need all the other stuff.
If you had serum that makes someone... you know what? He's just a man that loves his craft. That's what it is.
And I always enjoy, like, in 100% of all these, and I've watched enough 24 to be familiar with this old playbook, but all torturers always methodically lay out the array of tools in front of the victim to be like, here's what we're working with today. And I just like the idea that he's never going to use them. He's just like, all right, but instead of that, I'm actually just going to give you a shot. That was just for a show. Sorry about that. I like to have fun.
It's just, I paid for these. I never get to use them. I just use the stupid truth serum every time. Every time I just use the stupid. I mean, it is the most effective, but what are you
They took out of my paycheck to buy these, so I'm on brand to show them every time, but I never use them.
I never get to use these things. I keep them oiled, though. You mean you don't want them to rust. Once they start rusting, you never get them back.
That's exactly what Uncle Doug would have said.
Well, he's been hit with this truth serum, and so his wife takes the opportunity to ask him they're left alone. Of course, there's a supervillain involved here. Or a Bond villain, so they have to be left alone so they can escape, right? And so she takes the opportunity to ask him questions about his previous 17 years as a spy. And my favorite part of this is she's like, have you ever killed anyone? And he's like, yeah, but they were all bad. I'm like, I have seen you in action. You are just indiscriminately you just blew up half of a mansion. You don't know everybody that's in this mansion. Yeah,
you have no idea. And then later on, we see him just willy-nillying with nukes. We'll get to that, but he's not careful.
And at some point in here, Aziz finds a photo of Helen and Harry's daughter, and he's like, oh, I should probably kidnap her for good measure.
Yeah. Honestly, good play.
Yeah, maybe he won the whole set. I don't know. And it happens at some point in here. Well, the torturer comes back, and he asks Harry a question, and Harry says, I think I'm going to escape. And he says, well, how are you going to do that? And then, of course, the gag is Harry tells him step by step exactly how he's going to escape.
Yeah.
Which involves killing them.
Yeah, and he's already got the handcuff undone and does some impressive, I'm going to bring John Wick back into it. He does some impressive real fast, blah, blah, blah. And much to Helen's surprise, she's like, oh, okay.
She's
wow.
like,
Who did I marry?
Yeah, at some
you
point...
look like Rambo. She says, she drops a Rambo reference. Yeah.
That's what I was going to go with. At some point, she's like, I married Rambo. This is great. She's not... See, this is where the juxtaposition in this movie is just really weird. Like a normal human seeing someone murdered, or well, it's self-defense, whatever, killed in front of them for the first time, surely would have more of a reaction than, oh, that's weird.
Yeah, wow, you're just like Rambo.
It's odd. But they take such care to be realistic about other I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's all meant for fun. Well, there's a great big old shootout that happens here because Harry just can't keep himself secret. He can't do it.
Not a good spy, honestly. And I will say, a 6'3", 250-pound muscle-bound dude in a button-up shirt does not look like a spy.
Yeah, he hasn't got what I got going on.
Dude, I would never know you. I would be like, that guy just plays Hero Quest.
So much Hero Quest. I make my own campaigns, Travis.
Not a spy, guys. Meanwhile, you're like, G5 operative.
That's right. Well, there's a whole shootout that happens here, and essentially some stuff blows up. Arnold has to run away from it. Him and his wife get separated. Aziz thinks that his nemesis Harry has been dispatched. However, Harry just ran away from the big explosion and jumped in the water, like you do. It is the classic action. I mean, movie scene. He is running away from an explosion. Also, prep work on behalf of these terrorists. Can we just take a moment to appreciate how they just left lots of explosives around the nuclear weapons?
Honestly, that's why I was referencing the video game. It's like they literally leave red barrels beside all of the important things. They're like, yeah, they'll never know to shoot the big red barrels. Those don't explode. Just leave them out.
Well, I did miss one important plot element. Before the big shootout, the terrorists set the bomb to explode in like an hour and some amount of time, whatever it is, and then they encase it in concrete. That is actually important. They're going to be transporting it via ship. Well, they decide, they think Harry's dead, but they decide to keep Helen alive as a hostage for some reason. I don't know what the reason is. They're like, we might need a hostage. Okay, I mean, you have a nuclear weapon. I think that's better than a hostage. But who am I to tell terrorist business? I don't know. Anyway,
are we beyond the part where she drops the automatic weapon down the steps?
Yeah, we are. But I've been jumping all over the place. So if you want to go back and talk about how stupid that is,
that may be the most memorable thing about this movie to me. Is it's kind of playing on the, maybe it is misogynistic to be like, oh, the lady can't shoot a gun, she just drops it and then it kills everybody. But also very funny and kind of dumb. But the gun bounces all the way down the steps. It is a good minute and a half slow roll of this gun tumbling down the steps, firing continuously at these guys who are running out to shoot them. And she's like freaking out because she has no idea what she's just done or how to make it stop. And somehow the gun never shoots behind. It always shoots forward, even though it's doing 360 flips. Amazing stuff. Yeah.
And you know what? I said stupid, but it is kind of awesome. It is kind of great. It's like the have you seen the Untouchables where the baby carriage is like going down the steps?
Yes.
Yeah, it's like that, but with a gun that's just somehow got better aim than every stormtrooper that's been trained for decades, right? Like it's just
because they can only shoot straight, but guys were dying left and right. It's insane.
And shout out to Jamie Lee Curtis, man. She does some action work in this scene wearing the shortiest of short dresses. I mean, that's impressive.
Yeah, she's been scooting around this I don't know, evil fortress with relative ease, given that she does she's wrapped tighter than a sausage.
That's right. Well, if we get back to where we had left off, big explosion. Harry jumps in the water. Terrorists think he's dead, but they take his wife as a hostage. Now, the super secret government agency manages to get there just in time to pick Harry up as he's climbing out of the water, and he goes, oh, wow, we're in the Florida Keys. There's no one that can stop them from just driving into the U.S. We have no sort of, border patrol or anything, obviously, because it's the Florida Keys, right? So
there's no Florida locks, right?
No, we need at least two.
Yeah. That was dumb.
There's two.
You can cut it out if you want, but I thought maybe if it were locked, it'd be harder to get in. Its keys. Did I have to explain it before it was funny? I'm so sorry. We can keep it or not.
I want you to say it again, but I'm not going to edit any of this. I just want, now that everybody knows what's coming, I just want you to say that joke again.
So we got the Florida keys, and it's going to be easy entry, but just imagine if we had some Florida locks, then we could have kept them out better. You know what I mean?
God, that's even better the second time. Oh man, I really like it. Good job, Travis. Good job.
Thanks, man. That's why I'm
here. They do exactly what you would expect them to do. Super secret government agency. They call in some Harrier jets. They just call in some jets to just shoot missiles at the nuclear bomb. But they manage to instead of blowing the nuclear bomb up, they blow the bridge up. Now this is going to cause several problems at once.
Do you have the trivia on like how many actual bridges were harmed in the making of this film? Because this looks really good.
Yeah, I don't know if it was an actual construction or if it was a miniature. So I don't know what they did there. If there was some green
killed
screen
it.
effect.
It looks great. Like the whole time I was like, dude, they blew up a bridge.
Yeah, but
this is insane.
Okay, great. Yeah, great effect on blowing up the bridge. But you couldn't make Arnie Stuntman look more like Arnie.
Yeah, no, Arnie Stuntman looks like me.
Like it's just it looks like Travis in like sort of a straw-colored wig. What is going on here? But so they blow this stuff up. The nuclear bomb is like on the edge of the bridge somehow. Like it's like sitting there, and I don't remember if it's some sort of seabird. Some seabird lands on it, and it falls in the water, and it's like sinking down. This is played for comedy, like.
A really fun scene, though. What I really wanted, I wanted the driver to just run to the back of the van real quick. For some reason, I wanted the terrorists to live in that moment. It was very anxiety invoking, but the bird landing on the hood really did it in.
Yeah, and the terrorists fell to their death. So that was good. And at this point, we're gonna find out where Helen, Harry's wife, has been, and she's been in a limo with Tia Carrera. And Tia Carrera, again, is sort of the bad guy in this, and they're having a fight. They're fighting. Mm-hmm. They're wrestling over a pistol. She's punching. She's kicking. And Helen gets sort of the better. I think she knocks her out with a champagne bottle or something.
Yeah.
So it gets.
But the driver's also dead. The driver is shot in the tussle. He gets his brain, which is wild because he dies and his foot goes on the accelerator. Which sets the stage for the rest of the scene where now we have a car that is racing toward this hole in the bridge. And obviously we want to try to save Helen before this happens, but no one's ever like, maybe just reach up front and try to get his leg off the accelerator. Also, he's steering awesome to be dead. Like he has kept it on a line.
No, there's guardrails. Come on, Travis. There's guardrails.
But he's not up, like if you think about it, he could be like up against it. It wouldn't like it's staying in between the guardrails. Pretty good. It's pretty impressive.
It does. It's definitely impressive. And I mean, he did have the audacity to get killed in a car in an action movie, which means, of course, your foot's going to stay on the accelerator.
Mm-hmm.
Of 100%. No matter I mean, there is a lot of jostling that happens, but for some reason, his foot never. It's like it's stapled to this accelerator. So we get another great shot of I'm sorry, you were setting the scene pretty well. I will reiterate. We've got Helen. She has knocked out Tia Carrera there. She is hanging out the sunroof of this limo, and Arnie's stuntman is hanging off the chopper. He's hanging off the chopper, and I do love this shot. He gets down, reaches off of the helicopter, grabs her hand, as she comes like out of the sunroof as the limo is flying off of the bridge. It's awesome. It's a great shot. Like, you see her hanging there, and then you see the limo falling into the water below. It's just awesome. That's a good shot. It
is.
At the end of the day, that's just a good shot.
Do you ever think about, like, the biomechanics of that, where it's like, you're not going to hold anybody with just your wrists like that, you know? I was like, maybe drop her in the water and come back and get her, because somebody's going to get a sprain. Like, that was all I was thinking about, was like, that's rough. That's rough.
You're talking about a 7-time Mr. Olympia, okay? So if anybody's going to hold Jamie Lee Curtis off a helicopter, It's going to be
I guess
Arnold. All right?
I don't mean to sell anybody short. You're right. I don't know what I'm talking about. I mean, there's a lot of far-fetched things in this movie, but that was one where I was like, ooh, ow, that would hurt your wrist.
That's right. Well, we think the movie it's the end of the day. Everybody's safe. They bring the Harrier jets to land, and they're on the edge of the bridge here. And,
guess what? There's 20 more minutes.
Oh God, Jesus! I swear I thought it was over. Okay,
yeah,
all
scroll
right.
down. There's 3 more pages of notes.
Oh my God. Okay, all right. Well, I think we're gonna power through this. I mean, there is some exciting stuff that happens here. First of all, the nuclear bomb blows up. Failure. They didn't stop the bomb from blowing up, so that's kind of a problem. But it does blow up in the ocean, so it's basically gonna just make another Godzilla. If I remember how Godzilla is made, you blow up a nuclear bomb in the ocean.
That and a seafood shortage.
Oh, I know, man. All those poor fish. But, of course, the most romantic thing you could possibly imagine is a kiss in front of a nuclear bomb going off. So that happens. They have a little smoocher do. I like that he covers their eyes so they don't see the flash either. But they both have their eyes closed when they're kissing. Well, we find out that you remember that guy Aziz, right? He's still out there. He's still doing stuff. So he has kidnapped Harry's daughter and has her in a high rise in downtown. I believe it's Miami. I think that's the city where this occurs because it's Florida, right? Yeah, they're in Florida. If they only had those Florida locks. And so they're at the top of this high rise that's sort of under construction. They have another nuclear device, all right? And they have his daughter. So Harry does what any common sense, intelligent, tactical super spy would do. Father. He gets into an airplane he doesn't really know how to fly all that well, steals it from the government, and then goes after Aziz the terrorist.
It's a great scene too, where he's like, "You've not flown one of these in like 10 years." He's like, "Yeah, it's they make the whole like, oh, it's like riding a bike joke." But he has some trouble getting it up. He's like smashing the police cars nearby. It's like trying to watch me parallel park. He's just smashing into things before getting it to take off. But I was thinking the whole time, like, no wonder this movie costs like $100 million. There's like nothing in this movie that survives longer than 8 seconds of screen time. Everything is destroyed.
Well, you think about how they had to shoot it. Like, they built the practicals. Well, they used real jets for some of the scenes. And by the way, they paid, I think it was over $100,000 to have jets in this movie. Like, they were real government jets.
Sure.
Or military jets, I should say.
Yeah, as opposed to like the private military jets.
That's right.
Well, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if any billionaires have like the ones with warheads on them.
Yeah, I was gonna say you could probably buy decommissioned military planes, like older ones, but I don't know if you could buy like Harrier jets and stuff. But maybe
those things are awesome though.
Yeah, I would die I wouldn't even get off the ground. Which switch do you flick first? There's so many switches in there,
and it can go straight up. It doesn't need a runway. It can just go straight up like it's insane.
That is cool.
We had that in the 90s. Imagine what we have now.
Yeah, I know. We probably have like alien bodies and stuff.
Maybe. That's True Lies 2 though.
Oh yeah. With right after they find Bigfoot. I don't know what's happening. Where are we at in this movie? Okay, I remember. Arnold or Harry has now launched himself. This is one hell of a season finale. I gotta say, we are just.
I'm having fun. This is fun. I'm not even drunk for this one, but we're having a good time.
So the Harrier jet and Harry get to the building, and there's just a whole bunch of shenanigan, actiony stuff that happens here. His daughter has somehow. Well, there's several things that have happened. While Harry is flying there. First is his buddy Facile has somehow infiltrated this organization as like he's pretending to be a news reporter because they want to get on the news, right? The terrorists want to get on the news. And Harry's daughter has stolen the nuclear key to arm this device, okay?
That they just left unattended near the hostage that they don't have restrained.
Right. I mean, she's just a kid. So what's she gonna do?
Yeah,
I've met a teenage kid. They're always up to shenanigans.
Stole his Florida key.
If only he had it locked up. This is not okay.
I'm so sorry.
This is where we find ourselves though. So Harry just he sees his daughter on a crane thing, like a scaffolding sort of crane situation. And Aziz is out there chasing her, so he does what you do, which is pull your jet up underneath your daughter and just say, "Hey, jump on it. Just jump on down.
Yeah, jump on to my jet.
It's gonna be fine."
This jet sneaks up on them like a bear. Like they don't see this jet just. They have to look at it when it's near them before they're like, "Oh, there's a jet like 10 feet away. Oh my god."
Out of all the ridiculous things in the movie, I can believe this because I am so scared of heights. Like, there's no way I would have looked down and saw a jet coming. There's no way. I would have just been crying and crapping. That's the two things that I would have been doing.
The thing is, like, looking down is not usually where you expect a jet. Like, that's the thing that's weird.
It's coming from somewhere different. Well, she hops down. Oh, I also should say, at some point, he just shoots up a whole floor of this building. Again, he only kills bad guys. There's no good guys in there.
I just wondered, does he know? Does Tom Arnold tell him where his daughter is at that point, and then he just freely shoots the floor, or does he shoot the floor and he's like, "Hope I don't kill my daughter"?
And also, there's a great scene where one of the terrorists is looking out of the window with the binoculars. And the jet like raises up in front of him. Somehow he doesn't see it, and he has to adjust the binoculars to see
Arnie staring right back at him. Amazing. Thank you, James Cameron with a K.
It's so good. Well, look, a whole bunch of stuff happens. His daughter gets onto the jet. So does Aziz. There's some fighting and tussling for weapons. Somehow Aziz, he kind of like falls off the side of the plane due to Arnold's great plane driving. He just nods at his daughter, and somehow
like,
she
hold
knows.
On tight.
Yeah. Somehow she knows.
Like she was holding on pretty loose for some reason, and then he was like, "No, you're tighter than that because I'm about to do a thing."
She wasn't taking this situation seriously. Well, Aziz sort of falls off the edge of the plane, but the strap of his gun gets caught on the missile, and and then Arnold, of course, he's got to get the quip in, man. He says, "You're fired."
You fired. Fires
the missile through the building and hits the bad guys that are in a helicopter on the other side of the building. I mean, come on, man.
Pretty cheesy, pretty awesome. Don't know if he planned it that way. That was what bothered me. I'm like, are we just going to be firing missiles all willy-nilly now? Like, is this what we're doing? But yeah, he does end up taking out the bad guys. Probably over top of a children's hospital, but don't mind. Don't worry about that.
It's fine. Yeah, don't worry about that part. Well, he lands the Harrier jet, and they sort of scuttle him and his daughter away so the cameras don't see them. And then we get like a flash forward into the future. Not like Back to the Future is in like 20 years in the future. It's like a year later or something. Travis, this movie's still not over. It's still not over, dude.
7 more minutes. Let's do it.
So we get a dinner scene happening at the table. They're all sort of having fun. Then the phone rings, and Helen goes and answer it, and it's agents Boris and Doris are getting activated. That's right. They kept those amazing code names, and they find out they have a mission. They end up at another fancy party doing super spy stuff, and guess what? Guess who's there, Travis?
First of all, I'm most amazed they're still married. And second of all, Bill Paxton's still up to his old game. He's still out there running the game.
He is, after almost getting murdered on the side of a dam. Somehow he infiltrates a fancy party as a waiter, and he's convincing a woman there that he is actually a secret super spy agent. And he gets harassed again by Helen and Harry, and I think he pees his pants again. Does he pee his pants again, Travis?
He pees his pants right before Harry and Helen dance the night away via tango.
And that's it. I mean, that's it. They were happily married after that.
Somehow.
I mean, that's how you do it.
Somehow, even though the man she's been with for 15 years has been a spy for 17 years, and she didn't know, and he psychologically abused and tortured her, and then they were both kidnapped, and their kid was kidnapped, and everybody almost died, and then they just go home and thumb wrestle at dinner. That I don't understand how that worked. I could have never pulled that off. Well, if I'm gone for an hour longer than I promise, it's rough. You know what I mean?
Well, Travis, don't quote me on this, but most marriages are just varying degrees of Stockholm syndrome. So that's just all that's happening here, okay? She's convinced herself she loves her captor.
I guess so. At some point, I'm like, Bill Paxton and Arnold's characters are both. There's not a good guy in this movie, is my point.
Well,
maybe Tom Arnold.
I mean,
well, no, he was kind of in on it. He was in on everything.
You know what? Shout out to Facil. Man, that guy was all right.
Facil was all right.
Yeah, man. He was always providing good tech support, good intel. Mm-hmm. He was always interested in getting the terrorists, okay?
Yeah, and he got a few of them.
Yeah, he got some good sense of humor, and he infiltrated at the end, and he actually was very useful in saving the day. Doesn't get any credits. None.
And just to shout Facil out again, that actor's name, just because we need to, you know what? He is the true hero of the movie, Grant Heslov. Thank you for what you did in True Lies.
Good hairline, too, doesn't he? He's got that Stephen Wright hairline, too.
Yeah, he's one of mine, one of my people.
He's one of your people. I got to say, there are some really big memorable moments in this movie. It's pretty fun. I mean, it's obviously, it's an action comedy, so there's tons of plot holes and just silliness, and there's some real cringy stuff about, 2/3 of the way into this movie till about the last 10 minutes. But all that aside, it's a pretty fun time.
There's a lot of really good parts. I think it's, if you boil it down to some of your favorite parts, it's a legendary movie. If you watch it all together, it's kind of like, do we need most of some? Like, it doesn't need an hour of it.
If they could skip from about the time he does the horse motorcycle chase to about the time that he's getting grabbed up in the hotel room with Helen, and then we could skip some of the other stuff. I just need just enough to know the nuclear bombs are going to go off, and then if I could get the Harrier jet scene at the end, like if I could get the James Cameron with a C cut.
Yeah, we should do the Uncle Doug cut. And splice it up, make it. I don't know. Are we just guys that like wholesome action? Because
I think the Uncle Doug cut would be like the first 15 minutes of the movie. Then he's asleep in his chair. That's the Uncle Doug cut.
The Uncle Doug cut is just the Jamie Lee Curtis dance scene.
He's like, "Hey, y'all wake me up for that part where she dances." All right. He just kind of goes up. Well, who cares what we think, Travis? I don't care what we think. How about some of those post-credit reviews?
Yeah, let's get to those. I did want to say, though, Uncle Doug, after this movie, has been real skeptical about his cigarettes. He always opens up the whole pack and looks at each one to make sure they're not looking back at him.
He's like, they were spying on me in the 90s on these things? He's not a Lucky Strike, man. You know he's not a Lucky Strike, man.
He's not. Here's some post-credit reviews, though, ones that may have a little spoiler oil in them. We've got 4.5 star here from Kristen. This was a rewatch from Kristen. This was actually on my birthday of this year. It's not that long ago. Kristen says, I can't believe my very Christian parents let me watch this movie multiple times as a child when there's that one scene with the dancing. But wowee, it still hits. Arnold and Jamie Lee continuing to tango through the end credits is cinema.
I do like that. And they stay in character with the dance they're doing too, because she's sort of like is being sexy but a little silly too. Like that is that she, you know what, she nailed that. And I didn't pay that close of attention, once I got to the credits, because I was like, God, it's been 2.5 hours. But seriously, that is a nice touch.
Of course, we got a 2.5 star from someone who goes by Let Me Live. This was on August 6th of this year. What if he forgot about his wife and just did the rest of the film with the horse? What about that?
I mean, is he married to the horse at that point? I just need some clarification. Is he just friends, or is it a buddy team up movie? That I'm in for. That police horse and Harry Tasker, I'm in for it. 100% sold.
I do like the idea that the rest of the plot drops off and it's just him the rest of the time with the horse, and then the horse dances for him and the horse gets abducted with him, and he and the horse have to try to rescue his daughter together. The horse is like on the airplane with him.
Yes.
It would have been amazing, dude.
The horse is trying to shoot that machine gun and drops it down the stairs.
Oh, I'm just a horse. He doesn't know. Just a silly horse.
How's a horse going to shoot a machine gun? It writes itself.
So good. And then for people low on it, we got a one star from Soup Snatcher 27, April of this year. I give this film 3 restraining orders out of 11 lawsuits.
I mean, that seems in proportion. That's about where I think it needs to land, probably. Yeah. I mean, there's so much he gets away with in this. You're just like, I mean, he does get punched in the face twice. I mean, that's something, right?
Yeah. I mean, you would think Charleston Heston's boss man character would have come down on him for at least wasting a few mil to interrogate his wife in the super secret terrorist interrogation bunker. But no.
I think Charlton Heston's character is like, nah, I did the same thing back in 73.
How do you think I lost my eyeball? It wasn't in war. It was from my wife.
Gee, but those telephones in the hotels were real heavy back then.
Hit me with a whole operator.
Well, on a budget of $100 million, True Lies went on to gross $378.9 million, and it created one of the most fun. Now, I'm emphasizing the word "fun" here. Action movies of all time, wedged between T2, which, in my humble opinion, Trav, is the greatest action movie of all time, and Cameron's hit Titanic. I mean, he's got a bunch of them, but Titanic's like the big one, right?
Yeah.
True Lies, often gets overlooked. However, that is a gross oversight for this outstanding action comedy. Now, I could go on, but Travis, got a little surprise for you, buddy.
Oh, yeah?
I think it's better for you to hear it from a True Lies superfan. Our pal Alex from Drunk Friend and SNES Drunk is about to drop some True Lies truth on us.
Hello. I've been asked to defend True Lies like it needs me to defend it. But holding in my hand right now, I have a theater ticket for United Artists presents True Lies. And then it says DTS. I think that's the kind of sound. Unless it's like down to something. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. But it was at 7:15 p.m. on a Sunday. July 17th, 1994, admit one child at $4. So yeah, me and my dad went. That probably was within a week it came out. Maybe the same weekend it came out. I'm not sure what the release date was, but I wouldn't be surprised if it were around that time. But it's a spectacular movie, and I think most big, huge fans of Arnold, like myself, would call it the last truly great upper echelon Arnold movie. Because it's James Cameron, so it hits all the notes. You want helicopters exploding, you want one-liners, you want cheesiness, you want a goofy story that somehow works. Tom Arnold being the comic relief, at the time I remember that being completely out of nowhere, but it works somehow. The closing line with "You're fired" is fantastic. It's one of the best Arnold lines ever. And, of course, him riding around on a horse, pointing a gun casually around, like, could you push the button for the top floor, please? Like that. I remember laughing really hard at that in the theater. So, yeah, True Lies. It's not as good as, like, Predator, Terminator 2, or any of, like, the S-tier Arnold movies. But True Lies is clearly A-tier, and I'd call it the last truly great Arnold movie.
Man, I tell you, I think that sums it up. I can't think of anything else to say about the film True Lies.
That was everything that I felt, minus maybe even some. That guy loves it.
He does, man. It was so nice to hear from him, too.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, appreciate the contribution there. Uncle Doug will certainly appreciate it as well. Thank you, Alex.
Uncle Doug likes anybody that's drunk. I mean, it's just he's gonna.
He bought a
right
Super Nintendo. As soon as he heard about Alex, he pulled his Super Nintendo out of the closet. Was like, I can get down with this guy. Seems all right.
He's like, I'm gonna play this Chrono Trigger. Weird, but Uncle Doug's he's got good taste. He's got good taste.
He doesn't like the reading. That's the thing that bothers him about it.
That's why I have to go over when he plays it. I have to read it out loud to him. I do voices and stuff, though. I'm pretty good at it.
Yeah, I bet he loves it. Yeah,
he really does, man. Well, hey, you know what? There's no hint about the next movie that we're doing because this is it, man. We finished this season. I mean, we're gonna do another season, but I mean, we haven't pulled any movies out of the bin. We haven't done any of the stuff that we normally do. So there's no hint to do here, Travis. We're wrapping up this season. What's the plans for the future?
Obviously, to dig into the bin and record more episodes, but we might do the bonus episode. We've been talking about it. We got It's really hard for two white guys who do a movie podcast, or any guys. They don't have to be white, but any two bros to do a podcast around Halloween and not talk about or not rank some more scary movies. So I'm sure that'll happen.
Oh, I can't
And then
wait.
we'll be back before you know it with 10 more films for season 3, spaced out bi-weekly, just to whet your palate, make you want it even more.
Ah, man. Well, I'm excited. Trav, what do you say to all the listeners out there to keep them on the hook, to keep them interested for the next season? Like, what's going to have them chomping at the bit?
I don't know.
I don't either. I don't either. I really. I mean, like, please. If I said please,
yeah. We're getting better, right? You guys are enjoying them. The movies are great.
I mean, the movies are good.
Is it not a better excuse to go back and watch some of your classic favorites than hang out with us while you're doing it? I mean, come on.
Yeah, just ignore all of the hot mess stuff we do for like 90% of the episode and just that one. Do you guys remember when Travis said the Florida locks?
That was fun. Kevin had Kevin had 5 minutes where his career peaked in this episode.
It's all downhill. Amazing. No, that's not gonna. It's gonna sound like it's going down. I'm gonna have like 10 minutes next season at some point.
Yeah.
Well, guys, if you enjoyed this episode, nay, this season even, you might like our other podcasts. You can catch me on the tabletop gaming podcast Blue Peg, Pink Peg, and you can find Trav on a lot of the great podcasts here on the Polymedia Network. You got Tales of the Lesser Medium. We got Goosebumps, Drunk Friend, Travis. Oh my gosh, what about Polykill? Are you on Polykill?
I'm on that one too. I'm on Tales of the Lesser Medium. We've got Goosebumps. I'm on all. Name a podcast. I'm on it. That one with Mark Maron. I'm on that one. How'd This Get Made? I'm on that one. Tom Segura. We're buds.
Man, you are just, God, you're everywhere. And I love seeing you every time I see you, everywhere I see you. So you can also, if you love seeing us, catch us on stage with Big Lit Conspiracy. If you're in the Roanoke area, that's for all your improv comedy needs. And you know what? If you want to keep this podcast stopping nukes, support the Polymedia Network on Discord. Nope, that doesn't make sense. That is a typo. If you want to keep this podcast stopping nukes, I can't say the word nukes.
If you want to keep sending us nudes on the podcast.
If you want to keep this podcast stopping nukes, support the Polymedia Network on Patreon. We have to also thank our pal Harvest Black for that super spy-worthy theme music. And just like our Uncle Doug always says,
could you push the button for the top floor, please?